Standard 6th, Subject Civics, Chapter 1, A Life in Society. In this chapter, we shall learn about why did man feel the need for society, the social nature of man, our development, and what is society. In the fifth standard, you have learned about the evolution of man. It tells us that our present social life has taken shape through a process of evolution over thousands of years. Means man has progressed. He has moved from a nomadic stage to a settled social life. So you must be thinking, what will society be like 50 years from now? You can discuss it among yourselves. First point, why did man feel the need for society? A stable and secure community life is necessary for the development of the individual as well as society. That means we need to feel safe. In the nomadic stage, man did not have this stability and security. That time, man used to move from one place to another in search of food and shelter. When man realized that living in a group provides security, people came together to develop an organized way of life. This was one of the main motivations for the creation of society. Living in society, man felt the need for rules to help with the smooth functioning of day to day matters. It gave rise to conventions, traditions, ethics, and values, rules, and laws. Now, what are conventions? A way in which something is usually done. And traditions, we all know, it is a belief or behavior passed down within a group or society. And ethics means moral principles. So, all this are included in man's life and in society, and we became more organized and stable. So that's how man felt the need for society. Now let's learn about the social nature of man. Man is social by nature. We all basically like to live with one another, in each other's company, and with people around us. Living with people not only makes us happy, it is also a need. We cannot stay isolated for a long time away from people. Okay, we need to have company. We have many needs. Food, shelter, clothing are our physical needs. Once these are satisfied, man gets a sense of stability. But is this much enough? No, that is not enough. Besides our physical needs, we also have emotional and psychological needs. For example, to feel secure is an emotional need. We have to be safe from harm. That's why we take so much protective measures. When we are happy, we wish to share our happiness with others. Similarly, when we are sad, we wish to have somebody with us. Yes, we feel that we should have some company, someone to console us in a sadness, in a grief. We like the companionship of our family, members, relatives, and friends. These feelings reflect our social nature. So, what is companionship? A feeling of fellowship or friendship is called as companionship. You know that food, clothes, shelter, education, and health are our basic needs. Due to the labor and skills of people in the society, a variety of articles are produced. Education and health related services and facilities allow us to live with dignity, means with pride. All this is made available in a society. A variety of industries and occupations help to fulfill our needs. For example, We need books for studying and paper for books. That is why occupations like manufacturing paper, printing, bookbinding, etc. also develop. Many people contribute to this process. Thus, the variety of occupations in the society help us in fulfilling our needs. Means our needs are fulfilled and our needs are at the same time interrelated, means we depend on each other. This also leads to the development of our skills and capabilities. Our basic needs are fulfilled in society. We depend on each other for our emotional needs such as security, appreciation, praise, and support, etc. Thus, our life in society is interdependent, means we are totally dependent on each other. Next, we shall learn about our development. Point number 3. Every person is born with some qualities and capabilities, but they are dormant. Dormant means they are temporarily inactive. They develop in a society. These qualities and capabilities develop only in a society. So, we use language to communicate with one another, but we cannot do this at birth. We learn language gradually. Our first language is the one that is spoken at home. If our neighbors speak different languages, we also pick up those. Schools also provide opportunities to learn different languages. So, in the school, you are learning English, Marathi, Hindi, in higher classes, even French, Sanskrit. So, different languages are being taught in school. We also have the capacity to think independently. For example, when all the students in a class are given the same topic for an essay, why is it that no two essays are the same? It is because the thought process in each student is different. Every person thinks differently. Society helps in the development of our emotional capabilities and the power to think. It also provides the opportunity for expressing our thoughts and feelings. The development of our artistic and other talents also takes place in the society. Singers, musicians, artists, scientists, adventurers, social workers can all develop their qualities further because of the backing and encouragement of society. This encouragement is very important. So you can imagine if there are singers but nobody is there to, no audience is there to listen to them, then will they gradually develop their skill? No, the skill will be developed, but if there is no audience, then it won't be useful for others or there will be no performance. So, encouragement from society for artists is very important. That's how we develop. That leads to human development. Now, let's learn what is meant by society there. Society includes all people, that is, men, women, grown ups, old people, young children, etc. Our families are a part of the society. Society also includes different groups, institutions, and organizations. The interrelationships and interactions between the people, their dependence on one another, and sharing also form a part of the society. So, what is the difference between institution and organizations? Institutions are like an organization but for religious, educational, professional, or social purpose, whereas organizations are mostly related to business or government department. Okay, society is not simply a mob or crowd of people. A society is formed when people come together to achieve certain common objectives with specific goals. In order to fulfill needs like food, clothing, shelter, and security, the society has to create a permanent system. Without such a system, the day to day affairs of the society cannot be carried on. A system is essential for the continued existence of the society. For example, agriculture is essential to fulfill the need for food, right? Without agriculture, our requirement for food cannot be fulfilled. Various institutions must be created to perform all the functions related to agriculture. Therefore, a vast system needs to be created which includes factories to manufacture tools and equipment used for farming, banks to provide loans to the farmers, a market for the goods produced, etc. The existence of many such systems makes a society stable. In the next chapter, we shall learn about the diversity in the Indian society. So, hope you have understood the concept clearly about our life in society. Do read this chapter from a textbook for a better understanding. So, students, stay safe, keep learning, and thank you.